Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Commissar back for game number 2 between Killer aka Sniper MvP against Liquid's Hero. Of course, the first game did go into the favor of none other than Liquid's Hero. Hero, of course, being a brilliant player, a really good asset to Team Liquid, I feel. The TAC Team Arena Challenge has been a fantastic tournament to anyone who's missed it. It's an IPL tournament. It's just been phenomenal to watch. I've watched a ton of it. The great thing about it, you see all the good teams with all their top players fighting it out in every single matchup. So there's not a single matchup in that tournament which isn't really top notch and which isn't awesome to watch. And Hero, of course, did just help his team to get to the losers finals, I believe, losers bracket finals. And that is going to see Team Liquid playing against, I forget, was it Startail? I think it was Startail? I forget. Probably Startail versus Liquid in the losers bracket finals. Of course, Team Liquid, I believe, made the round of 4 in the winners bracket before being knocked out into the losers bracket by somebody. I forget which team knocked them out. But either way, the best showing of a foreign team in that tournament, and it has been a fun tournament, so I would watch it if I were you, and you haven't watched it already. The finals, I believe, are taking place sometime about now. Anyway, so we will indeed see, it looks like Hero, just like last game, going to triangulate the bases of Sniper or Killer MvP here. And will we see a pylon going down? I believe we will in just a moment here. And yes, there's the pylon going down, and he's going to get to the third base first. I made a mess of that speech. And it looks like the drone might be just far enough ahead. Will go down. I believe this will be a hatchery going down. And yes, it does make it down. Not getting delays he got so well last game. And of course, by not being thrown off in the timings, this is a much more normal situation for Sniper MvP, for Killer MvP. That he will be in a position such that his timings won't be screwed up, and such that he will be far less vulnerable already to any 2-base timings, and hopefully that is more conducive to a more macro-oriented game than last game's 2-base play. And oh, 2 cannons here. Oh, this is a big play here, as of course any transferring, well, nothing can get out of here really, with these 2 cannons down, and oh my god, all the drones being pulled off. Will they get the cannons is the question. I don't know if this is enough drones to kill both cannons. It looks like it will be. Yes, it will be. But a lot of delayed mining time here. And you can see, this mining time being delayed pretty much covers the cost of those cannons. And this cannon will be cancelled in the end. It will not be worth completing. And yes, it is cancelled at the very last second, delaying mining for as long as possible. So very nicely played by Hero. And yeah, despite that, I think that our MVP player should still be okay. He still shouldn't be too thrown off by those events. Okay, so we will indeed see the base of Hero now, and inside his base we do see a forge, a gateway, and a cannon. The gateway nexus a little bit delayed, I think, in order to allow for that cannon play. He does have his 2 gas guys going down now, and actually supply blocked after this pylon was cleaned up. Not a big deal though. It's not a long-term supply block. It's going to be very short, and it will just delay a couple of workers and allow a little bit of money for Hero to build up. Well, unfortunately for him. Oh, excuse me. I'm terribly sorry. And here we do indeed see the 3rd base at the natural expansion going down for Killer or Sniper MvP. Okay, so I might call him Killer because I called him Killer last game. Okay, so anyway, we will indeed see this probe. I believe it'll escape back to its base, as it will. And yep, the cannon is here, and hopefully it'll kill Lings as opposed to that neutral supply depot. At the moment, killing supply depot probably could have gotten a free Ling there, but it didn't. It's not a big deal though. A second Zealot is being chrono boosted out by Hero. He does have the +1 yet again starting. You'll notice that every single game so far that we've seen of Hero, all games have been PvZ, and all games have seen him do very similar openings in terms of the strict +1 timing, 2 Zealots plus a Stalker. Oh, this time a Sentry though. That's actually a significant difference. It is. And then yeah, chrono boosting out the warp gate, 4 gates, doing pressure, that sort of thing. That's been a very common thing for Hero to do so far. So will he do it again? We'll have to wait and see. Although after last game, of course, we will see Killer being a little bit more prepared, perhaps. He does have a second base very, very safely. His Roach Warren already about to be done, and yeah, he should be fine for any sort of 2-base. Super fast timing, that's like a Mortal Sentry, where then, who knows in that case? Anything could happen, or blink, anything could happen. But if it's a 4-gate pressure, he should be just fine, as the Roach Warren is going to be done before the second gateway even. Yep, and then we do see the 3 gateways going down for the 4 gateway push, I think. And the 4 gateway push seems to come at about what? Look at the time, it looks to be ready at about the 8.5 minute mark, which is actually earlier than, say, a 8 gate or something. So it's not going to be... so it's pretty decent timing to hit, considering it's a small commitment and potentially high reward attack. Okay, so we do indeed see Lings coming out across the map, securing some map control, getting both of those Xel'Naga watchtowers for our Zerg player at the moment. Killer MvP, that is. He's scouting around, just making sure no quick third bases for his opponent. He does know that thanks to the Overlord. And yeah, he's going to happily sit back and know that he's ahead on macro, and know that he has some creep start going. But it's not linking his bases just yet, although it is about to be doing so, at least to his second and third bases. And there is the traditional, it seems like about once every 5 minutes, a pause to get over frame lag. But again, frame rates have been pretty solid, so, you know, the occasional spike is not the biggest deal in the world. And of course, it'll eventually get fixed once I get off my ass and get the SSD, which I now have the money for. Probably shouldn't have said that, because then people will have all the more reason to complain. Anyway, so we do indeed see Hero, and it looks like he is going to be going for this third base, with very, very little to hold on here. To be honest, these Lings could probably, if they ran down to the third base right now, they could probably deny it. At least use a ton of energy up on those sentries, and that would be huge at this stage of the game. And yeah, there are 4 sentries though in the natural though for Hero, and if all those forces were together, he could kill the Lings very, very easily. Okay, so we do indeed see this Overlord. Oh, that's very, very clever. This one little bit of high ground is perfect for an Overlord to fit in and not be attacked from, so very, very clever play there. I didn't notice that, I was a bit confused as why they stopped attacking. Then I realized I am not on Hero's Vision, I am on All Vision. And there you see, that's an Overlord. This Overlord over here a little bit more visible, and now it's invisible to Hero, and oh, it's gonna go down. Nice snipe there, as that spot should be Overlord friendly in theory. Anyway, so we are about to see the 1-1 upgrades up for Hero, as he is indeed going for his push of a Robo and 4 gates to a Mortal push. Decent timing to be making, and a ton of sentries. Sentry Immortal, of course, one of the most feared pushes for a Protoss player to make. It's just so powerful against almost anything, although Mutas are really, really good against Sentry Immortals, because of course they can't shoot up, and sentries die super, super fast to Mutas, and without a Stalker count, that just melts. Of course, a big bunch of Stalkers warped in along with Sentry Immortal does deal with the Mutas, so it can be an interesting battle to see, say, Roach Muta versus Sentry Immortal. It can be interesting. Okay, so anyway, we do indeed see a hallucinated Warp Prism. Oh my god, that is so clever. The metagaming, he is known to use Warp Prisms quite a bit, Hero, and actually having a Phoenix at the same time means, sure, people think hallucinated Phoenix, that's a scout for sure. That's a hallucination. But people don't think a Warp Prism is going to be a hallucination, and oh, it's not going to do much other than scout and be taken out straight away. So it looks like Killer MvP will not have to pull back at all to deal with it. And oh my god, here comes the big push by Killer MvP, but he does not have enough at this stage. His army just too weak at this stage. And oh, a nice play I think by Killer MvP, going straight for that late game. We do see him getting a Spire and an Infestation, sorry, 6 Infestors and a Spire. That is definitely going to allow for the transition into Broodlords. The Hive already on the way. A very quick Hive, but very quick Hives are very common now for Zerg players. And oh, we do see him pulling back a little bit. Not a big deal. I believe just maybe reacting to the blue dot of Hallucinated Phoenix on the map. Hallucinated Phoenixes, yeah. Anyway, we do see the army of Killer MvP moving out across the map at the moment. We do indeed see Hero's defenses constituting a big, strong anti-Roach army right here. And of course, that is where infestors are nice, because when you can deal with mutas with your Sorkers with Blink, or when you can deal with roaches with your Immortals, it's nice to have infestors, and of course Infestor Broodlord locking down these armies is so powerful. Meanwhile, Colossi aren't even out in the field yet for Hero. He doesn't have a Stargate either for the mothership that he needs to deal with the Broodlords once they do come out. So it could be a little bit of a tricky battle coming up ahead, but of course Greater Spire Tech is still some minutes away. Okay, meanwhile, we do see the creep strat being so phenomenal by Killer MvP this game. I mean, look at his creep strat. It's going in all directions. 3 down here, 3 in the middle, 4 in the middle. And yeah, it looks like 1 creep tumor line up top. So, very nice creep strat all over the place. And he will indeed see the warp prisms, as there is one on the field somewhere. I'm just not... There it is. And yeah, the warp prism, of course, partly to reinforce the main army, possibly also to warp in for some sort of harassment. Last game, of course, he did use it to warp in with the main army. And, oh, going for an Immortal drop, perhaps? Nope. Apparently, yes. Immortal Sentry. Oh, I like it. Gonna force field off from the main and kill it potentially. Here comes the big push, though, of Killer MvP, realizing, oh, crap, my main is force fielded off, and, oh, the force field missed. And that's going to give it a tiny little window for these Immortals to be killed by Killer MvP. A lifeline being thrown out there, as of course if that Immortal was survived, those Lings did not get in. These Zealots would kill everything, and they may kill everything anyway, though. It's going to be very hard for Killer MvP to deal with these Zealots, but oh, the Fungals! The Infestors are here now, and that is going to clear out the problem. And the infestation of Zealots has been cleared out by the Infestors. And meanwhile, the army of Hero did not get to attack in that time, so well played there so far by Killer MvP, was having a much better game than last game, and so far, this match is really even at 4 base to 5 bases now, once the space starts mining, which is about now. So yep, at the moment, we're getting into the late game here, as Fleet Beacon's on the way. The Greater Spire, yes, it is done. Greater Spire is done, Fleet Beacon is almost done, and that is going to mean probably both a Mothership and Broodlords will appear in this game, and this game could be anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes long from this stage. Could be one big battle deciding it all. It could be a long epic macro game. And here indeed we do see Hero in position to defend. So not a big deal for him that this army is here, just going to get a bunch of free kills. More so than anything, the big deal could be what happens with this army over here of Killer MvPs. It is a bit small though. This army is not the biggest army in the world. 8 Infestors and not a very big bunch of units to tank for them. Basically that just means that it's kind of vulnerable, and this army is stronger than it, could kill it easily, especially if the High Templar were there, but they're a bit too slow to catch on. As in, physically slow. Okay, so, meanwhile up top side we do see a warp in going in for Hero. Gonna be seen by the Overlord, so it should be cleaned up, no problem. Waddling attacking, just decide that they don't want to attack Zealots. The rest of them are deciding that they want to take part in the big battle down here, and now realizing, oh, I better actually defend that, and we do indeed see the scramble of Killer MvP back up top. And he'll be fine, he will not lose anything as a result. So many spines in the middle, it's kind of hard for him to be just crushed, basically, through. And these spines are all going to go up and defend topside, and that is going to make it very hard for Hero to harass his opponent this game. The map is basically divided in half at this stage though too, so it is going to be a long game, it appears at this stage, as both players looking very hard to break. The Mothership is now completed, as are the first few Broodlords, which are, you can see 4 of them about to be finished, and this is basically the late game armies. Upgrades wise, it is 3 and 1 armor. 3 attack, 1 armor for our Protoss player. We do see the Broodlords with 1 attack upgrade. We do indeed see the Roaches, wherever they may be, up top side, with 2 1 upgrades, now 2 2 upgrades, about to be 2 3 upgrades. And the Infestors, of course, just having the 2 armor upgrades. Meanwhile, do we see the main base? Oh, a warp-in is going to be successful. The warp prism does go down, and the High Templar, a bit of a useless unit to warp in, as it can, feed back a queen and not even kill it. Odd choice. Ultra Cavern is on the way. Chitinous Plating is also on the way to give that +2 armor to those Ultras. And this is going to be about as late game as it gets. All you need to see is a few Archons from Hero and possibly a move into carriers and he'll be fine. In the meantime, he's moving into a bunch more gateways so he can remax instantly. A very, very good move for the late game. Very, very important to make, as of course if you do not do this, you can just lose your army and be outmaxed by the Zerg, as he will remax instantly and you will not. Well, a Apprentice Plate could potentially remax faster than a Zerg if they have, say, 20 gates or so. Which is a realistic number, 20, 30, that can happen, sure. 30, less so, 20, yes. Anyway, we do indeed see a warp-in in the main story of Killer MvP. Again, these drops are not doing too much damage this game. Unit tab does show fairly even, Hero a little bit behind, so evidently his harass has not been too efficient. And the Workers Killed tab the Workers Killed tab does indeed show what? It does indeed show that not many workers have been killed. 13 have been killed by Hero, so a decent amount. 66 to 75, yep. So the economy slightly favouring our Protest player. But look at the supply though of Killer MVP. He is maxed. He has a ton of money saved up. He does not want more than 65 houses at the moment, as he wants the biggest army possible. And that is what he's achieving right now, so his economy is just where it wants to be. Same with Hero, basically. And yeah, hallucinated warp prisms to mess with Killer MVP. Probably a bit surprised at this play because it doesn't seem to achieve very much. Pulling Queens just in case it's just Hero being bad. That's about all I can say. Real Warp Prism, of course, is going to be a bit more of a surprise when you have to deal with all the fake Warp Prisms, but of course, real drops have happened in this game, so not going to be the most surprising thing in the world in saying that. Okay, so we are going to see an engagement over here, and oh, a Vortex has gone down, and I did not see what went inside this Vortex, but apparently a couple of Archons and a couple of Broodlords, not much. The main Protest army, of course, down to the south. The main Zerg army is moving in here. Of course, that Vortex did cost the Mothership a lot of energy, and now it's on 100 energy, so now it can do another Vortex, but can it survive the Corruptor's onslaught? I believe it can, as the Archons are in full force, but no, having to use its second Vortex to try and get that off. Trying to send Archons in there to do a Archon toilet on the Corruptors. The Brutals are in full force though, just pounding away at this army. Hallucinations, of course, taking a lot of damage. Very, very clever play there by Hero to use those hallucinations. I mean, although the Archons are going to go down, the Corruptors also going to go down quite a bit too. Storm on all the Broodlords. All the Broodlords again being stormed almost to the death. Very, very nice play there by Hero, but of course half his army is hallucinations at this stage, and that means dying. He's setting his fake Stalkers forward to die to take up some damage, and oh, Hero's just struggling to hold on now. I believe his Mothership just died, so he's in a ton of trouble now. Of course, no Vortex energy left anyways. But a Blink is going to go in and it's going to kill one Broodlord, two Broodlords, going to be one-shotting them now, and this should kill the rest of the Broodlords with those 3 attack upgrades. Those Blink Stalkers are so powerful. And you can see, of course, the Roach number is not sufficient to deal with them before the Broodlords do indeed die, but is there enough to kill the Roaches now? And the Infestors are out of energy. The Roaches should die with these reinforcements, and a Hero is going to just hold on here. And it is going to be 192 to 113 supply, so 12 Ultras on the way. That is insane. But of course, Immortal Stalker not bad against Ultras once it's in higher numbers. But oh my god, 12 Ultras is way too much. For Hero to deal with. He probably can't even kill all the Spines at the moment, let alone 12 Ultras. And with the Infestors all surviving, he is going to be in a very powerful position going forward. You know, we do indeed see the supply of Hero trailing by 78. That gap is going to close very, very quickly. But will it be quick enough is the question. As he does have a bunch of money, it's still floating. Could potentially just remax on Stalkers without too much trouble. Still could have a decent army indeed. Big focus for him is getting out some Templar, getting out some Archons, getting out some sort of AoE damage. Better than Colossi here. Why? Because you can warp in and replace High Templar and Colossi. Also, feedbacks help a bunch too. And Colossi, well, Archons are just better against Broodlords than Colossi are, to be honest. Okay, so it is going to be Yeah, the map's basically divided in two. We will see not an expand down here, just 5 bases, 5 bases at this stage. And Killer MVP may want to consider taking these top and bottom bases and making sure he gets to mine them, not his opponent, while he still has map control. As in the later game, oh, this is scary, As in the later game, as I was saying, if Hero mines that, it could be devastating, but only at 4 bases at the moment is Hero. And these Ultras are so scary with their 6 armor. It's going to be hard to stop them. The Immortals, though, still very powerful against them nonetheless. Bailing's rolling in to try and kill something, but the Storm's killing all the Bailings almost. Hardly any remain. Those that do remain are on such low health. They are going to be very weak indeed in the future. And these Ultras rolling through the space, only leaving 3 bases left for Hero. Hero needs to kill the army of MVP right now, as he cannot replace his army very well from this stage 4th. Ultras just melting away to the Immortals, to the Stalkers. Such powerful play. The Storm is coming in too, and oh, this cleanup is brilliant for Hero. This is just what he needed, but is it enough, or is it too little too late? All the Ultras are just going pop into thin air, into little pools of blood. And meanwhile, Hero only has 1 properly mining base, and it is mining out very quickly. He needs more bases, or he needs to end the game right here, right now, or at least kill a ton of bases of Killer MVP to reduce him to very little, and he is re-expanding to the bottom side of the map as he needs to do. May want to try taking this space at the same time too. I believe he should try to do that. Meanwhile, though, he does have a decent army still alive. The army, though, for Killer MVP, not bad either. Ultras, of course, you can see they were just not as good as the Broodlords were. The rest of Broodlord, I think it's better. Ultras are just good complementing armies in the late game, I feel, more so than being the main force, unless you were ahead, in which case the mobility can just allow you to keep piling on pressure over and over again, in which case Ultras really do shine. There's another Nexus going down for Hero, trying to get ahead of his opponent on economy. At the moment, the economy game is pretty even, but slightly favoring Killer MVP, I was about to say, but a bunch of workers just did die right now, and that is going to help even things out a little bit more. And as you can see, mining still being delayed, not much mining at the moment up here, and that is going to hurt him quite a bit. And again, more storms and more storm drops. It's going to hurt Hero more and more. Burrowing, oh, odd decision there. I think he thought they were burrowed and tried to unburrow them. Fortunately, he forgot to burrow them earlier. Not a big deal, as they are all alive anyways. Okay, so about even supply now, suddenly after the big push in by Killer MVP. Destiny once famously said, I only make Ultras when I'm really far ahead and I want to lose, and apparently that has some truth to it, not because Ultras are horrible then, the army composition of Hero was great, but yeah, I feel like Broodlords maybe could have done a lot better against that army. Well, of course I did see last game, Sorkin's one-shotting Broodlords, so really, I don't know, it's hard to say, but either way, regardless, Hero managed to keep himself alive, managed to get back up to 5 bases now, and suddenly he is stabilized completely. Killer MVP back to 5 bases too, also pretty stable. And yeah, like I said, these top and bottom bases are going to be really crucial as they are still untouched, as the rest of the map is it's not too far away from mining out. Okay, up at the top side we do indeed see just Ultra Infestor, Corruptor, and Overseers. In the middle we do see what you would think would be units. They're actually Creep Tumors and Spine Crawlers. Really good static defense though, still very useful indeed. You do see an Infestor going in for some what? Trying to neural Parasite a Templar, I guess, to storm the middle line? That seemed wasteful, is all I can say about that. But yeah, the mothership is up again for Hero, and Hero may push soon, as he actually has a better army at this stage. Income does show even workers, which means just army supply is slightly favoring Hero. In terms of the army composition, we will indeed see, the army composition being quite good for both players. The big thing though, I think, is that those 57 Lings, if they were Roaches, I think Killer MVP would be in a great spot right now, but they're Lings, and Lings of course die to storm instantaneously. So I don't know what he's gonna do here. Maybe some more Broodlords would help out. He's getting some Broodlords out. But yeah, those Lings are just gonna be such a weak supply at this stage of the game. They are fully upgraded, yes. But Psystorm, where did that come from? Where did that come from? I don't know. Probably from a dead High Templar. And the Lings, I said, just very, very weak at this stage. But of course, look at the money. He doesn't have the minerals or anything else. He does have the gas, though. And we do see the investors leading the charge here. Not going to catch much at all except for 2 stalkers. Just going to basically scare away our Liquid Hero. But can the investors get some bungles up here? One bungle could potentially demolish Hero's stalker army, making the Broodlords so hard to stop. But here comes the big army. Great composition for both players. And the Broodlords are out too. The Broodlords just make this army so much more powerful. And here we do indeed see the Broodlords moving forwards, trying to harass the army, trying to stay protected by Ultras, by Lings, and there we do indeed see Banelings being morphed in. So if they do not get Psystorm to oblivion, they'll be huge too in the upcoming battles. And yes, the Broodlords forcing away the army of Hero. And that's going to be huge. The Storm missing completely, not really hitting anything at all. And meanwhile we do see what? Not 3-3 on the iron, it's only 2-3, not a big deal though. We do indeed see Hero just getting some Templar inside Warp Prisms and trying to drop his opponent, as that's been his main form of harassment this game. And yeah, general, the harassment's gone a bit tit-for-tat, fairly even. In general, I'd say Killer MvP's main way of killing his opponent's workers has been through killing bases. Not a big deal, that's kind of cool to do too. And oh, high feedbacking, I was about to say, but feedbacking the queens, killing them, one-shotting them, and trying to go for the greatest spy. That would be a huge snipe if he gets it. I don't know if he will though. It is going down so fast though. Oh my god, that is actually so ridiculous. That speed and will go down, and yeah, no, 3 health. Oh, that is close. And oh, the Warp Prism is not dead. The Warp Prism is not dead, and this could be a huge mistake. Could cost that unit its life, but meanwhile, we'll see back over here, the army is still alive. And, oh, I'm watching that Warp Prism not greatest spy. It looks doomed to me with that Warp Prism still alive. Meanwhile, though, we do indeed see the Broodlings gonna be killed in the meat grinder. Of course, we will indeed see the Spine Crawlers led the army enough for him to get back in position to deal with that. But, wow, that Warp Prism's still up. Of course, the queens are dead. So nothing that was there to kill it. I wonder when Hero notices, as that would be so good. But oh, Broodlord's out of position here. 3 of them dying here. A big mistake by Killer MvP. Could potentially allow Hero to make a big push in here in a moment or two. And here comes the big army. They're trying to get a flank off on Hero's Stalker Force. There come the Banelings, and they are not going to hit much. It looks like the Stalkers will indeed survive, as there are no investors on the front there to fungal growth that. Meanwhile, we do indeed see a Vortex going down. And oh, Infestors going in. That must have been a mistake, I think. Infestors suck in Vortexes. And oh, there's the Storm going down. Bit of a Storm toilet, not the most effective thing ever there. One Infestor did make it out alive. Meanwhile, the Warp Prism is still alive in the base of Killer MvP. This Greatest Spire slowly regenerating its health. Meanwhile, the big battle is going over on here, and we do indeed see the Mothership coming in for a Vortex. Cannot get any of the units at all in Vortex. It will just be basically won by Hero. Hero does have the big lead in this battle here. The Ultra's not too good, and yeah, the battle just before the Mothership came in, just 2 Hero favored. Killer MvP did have a bunch of money, not much gas though. Couldn't really replace that army very quickly. And yeah, that's a surprisingly early GG. I have to say, I don't think it was over yet. I mean, sure, the battle was going the way of Hero, but not by that much. Of course, these units would have died to the Stalkers. The Infestors tended to be dead. The Ultras are still alive though. 3 of them on good health. The Archons are near dead. The Immortals are still up. But the Templar were out of energy, and I don't know, sure it would have been a small loss for Killer MvP, but he could have sent in those Corruptors and killed that Mothership, and I think he might not have been out of the game yet. I don't know, tell me what you think. He was certainly behind in this battle, certainly behind in supply. His economy was not in the best of shape, hence his reinforcement rate was so low. His gas was just mined out everywhere was the big issue. He was starting to mine up here though, which could have saved him if he had gas there. But yeah, that's the game. That's the series 2-0 to Hero after losing to Hyun 2-1. Pretty cool stuff. I like Hero a lot. He's probably my favorite player in the world at the moment. I tend to like the Protosses, and the Protosses I tend to like the foreign teams. The foreign teams I look for a good Protoss that's likable, and I find Hero quite naturally. So yeah, it's hard not to like him, and it's cool to see him winning. And that is all from me for today. I hope you enjoyed that, and tell me, do you think that this guy lost the game, that Sniper, or Killer, whatever his name is, had lost the game? I'm kind of curious about that, but until next time, I shall see you all then.